I'm Adrock.
I'm Admin.
And I'm Oakley.
This is episode 7, and I'm taking a number 2.
And you do what we do.
You should watch this show because kickball is the only thing you care about, and the Ad Rock show is the only show you want to watch all day.
That's a shocker.
This show is brought to you by CustomMake.com. Get your official custom outfit for Kickball 365.
All right, today on the podcast, we're talking about the New Mexico upcoming tournament, Kickball for the Kids Classic.
Yes.
We'll be discussing upcoming leagues we got coming to New York City, and a couple of recent interesting threads that we've had on the Kickball message board.
Great threads.
Yeah, what's going on, guys?
What's up, Admin?
Not much, man. It's been a while. I miss you guys.
Yeah. We missed this past Sunday, but hopefully, we didn't have this episode, but next episode we're gonna have a special guest. We'll get into that later. But I don't know. So what's going on? What do you guys got coming up these days?
Well, we have the New Mexico tournament coming up. What's the date on that one?
What about you guys in New York, though? What's going on with New York these days? How's the kickball scene?
Well, we're just getting started, man. We're just getting out of the clutches of winter, finally getting some good weather around here. I'm playing in a Waka League with my team, the Shower Hammers, on Friday nights. It's starting at the end of April. Nice. Looking forward to that. It's going to be a laid-back scene. I don't think particularly competitive, but tons of fun.
Good.
Friday night league. Going to be at, what's the bar on the Upper West Side?
Parlor?
Parlor, yeah. Parlor's the bar. So it should be a good time. We're going to try to take it easy and just, have a good time.
Cool.
Yeah, we're doing the Thursday league, the traditional, the Freedom.
That's with Waka.
That's with Waka, the beautiful Heckscher clay pit.
The worst field in America.
Worst field in America. You guys complain about these fields at the tournaments having like long grass. We play in rock up here in New York. Our bar is the Parlor 2. Apparently, kickball's taken off in New York. Every team is stacked 26 deep.
Wow.
We have about 10 randoms we're looking forward to scaring. Hopefully they're going to enjoy it, though. We started practicing, started tossing the ball around. First time since Florida, 2 months ago for us, most of us.
Wow.
But looking forward to it. Looking forward to getting back to the city and tossing a little rubber skin around.
Exciting. Well,
how about you, Admin? What's IB doing down in D.C.?
So IB, also a circuit team. We're getting ready. We're all talking about heading down to the Virginia Beach Open on May 21st. So we're looking forward to that. Nobody's going out for IB for the New Mexico tournament. I will be there along with some of the other execs. Shane will be there. And then it'll be good. We're looking forward to it. The New Mexico tournament is scheduled for April 30th. I guess right now we got about 17 days, 18 days. The guys, the event managers running, are kicking butt. The Albuquerque Active 2030 Club, who's hosting it, this is the second time they're doing it. Much more laid back than they were the last time, so it's good to see that the guys understand what's going on. They're going to raise a lot of money for their charity. I think winners take home $3,000, so that's great that they're offering a cash prize to the winner. As far as we're looking at this, we're looking for some teams to kind of break out and showcase their skills, and hopefully some teams will, decide that they want to compete in Vegas come the circuit, for the Circuit Cup. So we're looking forward to it. It'll be good.
Who's going to be there? Any teams we know?
AKT.
Friend of the podcast, Tyler.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going with AKT and not just a makeup, but there's one California team, one Texas team. I'm hoping Relax and Let It Happen would show, but we'll see. That's a Texas team that plays in Waka. That's pretty good. And then there's 19 teams from New Mexico.
Wow.
There's a couple. I think there's one team from the Premier Kickball League that's coming down, and also a guy that runs an organization called Go Kickball. So Google that. It's an interesting site, but yeah, it'll be good. It'll be really good. 21 teams signed up as of today. We got a couple days left for registration. Money goes to charity, and folks are going to come out and have a hell of a time. It was windy last year, so I'm hoping it's not going to be as windy, but we're going to be live broadcasting it. At least the semis and the finals. We'll definitely have it ready to go. We actually have an iPhone extended charger now, so the phone will not die. But it'll be good. So yeah, New Mexico. Keep in touch. Follow the threads on Saturday. We'll be posting scores and everything.
Who's the favorite?
Yeah.
I would say AKT. If it's AKT coming to this tournament, by far. We talked about it last episode. West Coast teams they're getting there, and New Mexico is definitely in an area where kickball's big, but as far as competitive teams go, we'll see. We'll see. I'm looking forward to it. We might be surprised, and we might get 2 all-star teams come out based on their experience from last year's tournament, and they just might come out ready to win the $3,000 and more. So who knows?
I'm curious to see what these Arizona teams bring. I hear a lot of smack talk on the boards from those characters down there.
Yeah. So it'll be good. It'll be really good. The next West Coast tournament we talked about the last episode is May 28th in LA. The registration's starting to pick up for that event. We're hoping, again, 20 to 25 teams to show up for that event. The guy running it, Steven, is doing a great job advertising, setting up the after party, setting up the meet and greet. So we're looking forward to getting out in California at the end of May. So it'll be good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good. Been some interesting threads going on the board right now.
Oh, my goodness. Where do we start?
I was really digging what was this one thread posted by a contributor who calls himself Former Player. Thread entitled what most of NYC thinks of NY Liberty and Waka. And it was a scathing post about the level of intensity that some of the teams bring in Waka. Actually, this is about a team that played 2 years ago, and the Former Player was inspired to post by the recent, and this is a whole other thing, article in Deadspin that quotes an Atlanta kickball email from an irate captain.
I think I know that guy.
So
the guy that caused that.
Oh, yeah?
So I just want to ask before we dig into it, like this guy literally just joined the site like 4 days ago. He's only posted as of tonight 7 times. They're all focused on Liberty, and they're only within this thread. Is this guy just coming on the site to bash a particular league, or is it literally like this is a legit thread? Because sometimes we get some of those posts where they just do it for attention. Is this guy legit?
Well, it seems like from his post he was inspired by the Deadspin email to come and vent some of his hostilities from the New York League. I don't know. What do you think, Adrock?
As a former New York Liberty player 2 seasons ago, and I think I was the cause of part of this.
Wait, were you on the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase's?
I was on the $1 Million Man. That was our New York Freedom League, which I think this dude also played in.
All right.
And we pissed a lot of people off in that league. That was back one bounce days, and we just beat the hell out of teams. Like we beat them like 20-0. And it always seems like it's the fun teams that get the most pissed off. I mean, you guys probably it's always the teams that we're here to have fun, and then next thing you know, you guys are the the a-holes.
Now,
But
let me ask pretty quick. So like that has happened in DC quite a bit, where teams will play in a particular league, get pissed off at competitive teams, and then jump to another league. Are you guys seeing the same thing? Do they go, in this case, Waka, New York Liberty, and then go Zog, and then go? What are they doing?
I don't know anything really about Zog.
I don't either.
I've never played in Zog. The only time I know about them, there's New York Sports and Social Club.
Yeah.
The only time I see them is at the bar. We usually will stumble across a league bar, and the bar scene is just as wild. But for some reason, they play on asphalt. I don't know. It doesn't seem as fun to me.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, but I guess that's where they go. That's what he's saying. But
Well,
I've never seen that.
Well, if anybody's wondering, watching this, we'll post a link at the bottom that sends them to that thread, because it's definitely one of the more active posts going on this week on the site.
All right, listen, former player, we want to get you on the show to release all your anger.
Yeah, man, we want to hear your side of the story.
I agree. I think it'd be good. We'll even do a mask
We can do a mask.
and everything.
We could show your face.
Actually, speaking of which,
it's all good.
speaking of most requested guests, Dr. Nick.
Dr. Nick is coming.
There's Dr.
people.
Nick. Dr.
He's
Nick.
coming on the show.
Dr. Nick, this is week number 2. We're calling you out.
We need him.
Yeah. Anyways, all right. Good old Dr. Nick.
I love him.
I don't want to wait till October for another post.
No. It's going to happen on the show.
I hope
Hey,
so.
speaking of, when are we going to have a coaches poll? When's that coming out?
I hadn't seen the latest update. Is it coming?
I don't know. It's April. What is it? 12th?
Yeah.
Losing track of the days here.
We gotta get friend of the podcast Casey back on here.
We do.
KC Stangles. Yeah, he's got to get on here. I look forward to that every month.
It's good. So there's been a lot of really interesting posts on the site. One of the threads that caught my attention, again, we'll put a link at the bottom. But a lot of folks have been asking, shedding fat from their teams, best way to introduce randoms to your roster. What do you guys think about these? We had a couple of folks email us saying that there's a little complaints about things were a little too harsh. But the threads actually kind of policed themselves and started getting into an actual dialogue that, was interesting. What do you guys think?
Well, I mean, in terms of league teams, we've been trying to mellow out a lot, especially with the amount of tournaments that we are available this year and the amount of serious kickball that we get to play. We can sort of turn the volume down on the league a little bit, and so we've just been trying to have a good time with it. Not getting too worried about whether we win or lose. And just trying to enjoy ourselves. So trimming the fat doesn't come into it so much in the leagues.
Yeah.
In terms of, the tournament team, Meatball Kevin had a really great post about, running a tournament team and, looking at it like a business and, evaluating people based on, their contributions on the field.
That's what it's become.
Yeah, which I think is fine. If we're all going to put as much time and effort and money into traveling as we do, you got to put together the team that gives you the best chance of success. And I know that if my performance is holding back my team, I don't want that to happen. So I got to figure that most people that are athletes that want to play serious sports feel the same way. And if it's not working out, it's not working out.
Yeah, it's actually one of the reasons why in the circuit we refer to all captains as franchise owners, is because you're competing for cash and prizes, and there's a business aspect to it. We always look at the franchise model of major sports companies. Folks are treating it like a business, but it's always interesting to see now that we have something like the circuit where it's a year-long social experience to go out and compete and have fun with everybody. What do you do back home? Do you, Oakley said, you take it down a notch? Do you find other leagues? I don't know.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of echoing what Oakley said. Now that we have this competitive circuit and we don't really have to worry about, getting 0 runs against, we turn the volume down the league, turn the volume up at the bar, I think is what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
The problem is, at least in New York, every season, at least in the spring, when your roster is packed to capacity. Like I was saying earlier, we have 26 people.
Yeah.
So to get everyone to play, you're only playing 2 innings.
Yeah.
Especially in a 5-inning game. So it's it kind of hurts the experience to me to get especially these new people in and liking it and getting a hang of it when they're only playing 2 innings. And some of those innings might be 1, 2, 3. They might not even touch a ball, And how do you get through a 26-person lineup sometimes? It's just hard to roll over.
Now, do you solve that by adding an inning, or do you break up teams? What do you do?
I think, as we've said all along, and I've said it repeatedly to Walker reps and management that 26 people is just way too many people to have on a team.
I agree.
It's just too many. It doesn't make any sense. It's not really fun. Somebody's going to get left out, and it's just too many. 20. Okay, 20 is a lot, but it's reasonable. You can get
2 lines.
Yeah, 2 lines, and it's assuming that people. That's assuming 100% folks show up every week, which we all know is not the case.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is probably why Waka, Go Kickball, and others have such large roster sizes.
That's a good point, I guess. Well, I guess it's what we do. We invite everyone out to practice so that they kind of get an idea, and I guess playing time before they show up. Because I remember when I first showed up, I had no clue what the rules are. I was pitching the ball in and sprinting at the plate to try and stop the bunt before I got yelled at by Shane.
A Flying V would love to have you on their team.
Yeah, and bunting, that takes a couple seasons to figure out. Yeah, we invite everyone to practice. Like a lot of time in the beginning, most people will try and show. And then as the season goes on, you lose a few former player type guys.
Former player, get on the show.
But yeah, it's tough. It's tough to manage a team like that because someone's always going to feel left out, like Oakley said, and they're going to get pissed off. You can't keep everyone happy on the 26-person lineup is the bottom line, I think.
But really cutting 6 people, does that change it a lot, or does that just make it more manageable?
I mean, I think it makes it more manageable. It's just at the end of the day, if everyone shows up, you're never going to get through a 26-person order unless you really run up the score on someone in the early innings, and you could get through a 20-person order. And 20-person order, with 5 innings, you can reasonably get everyone in the field, at least for a little while. I don't know.
10-4.
I mean, yeah. We sort of beat our head against this with Waka for so long. It's like almost not even interesting to talk about it anymore. But, that's kind of the way it's been. And if you're trying to get your competitive kickball fix from a Waka league, you're going to be majorly disappointed because, they're going to put 12 people that you've never met on your team, and suddenly you got to figure out how to play your arch rival in the big game. With 10 people who've never played kickball showing up. And, what do? Do you ask them not to come? Do you kick the bottom of the order? Like, so awkward. And so that's why I just say, for the Waka Leagues, just, let's just, everybody bring your cocktails. Let's just have a good time. Just,
Well, there's a lot of leagues. I mean, it's funny. So, like, I just want to point out something and not to come across as us bashing simply Waka. Go Kickball, I just wanted to double check myself. Their max roster is 30.
Wow.
So teams with less than 20 players may have free agents added to their roster. And that's not even calling out Go Kickball. I mean, you've got other social sports leagues and things like that. So I guess the question, or maybe a topic someone might want to start on the forum is, what's the right number that folks should be looking at? And we're focusing, I guess we all agree, on a social team right now. Yeah. Competitive is a whole different story. I mean, the circuit max roster is 20, or actually there is no max roster just because it's a traveling tournament. We kind of think 20 is the number, but in the 3 years we've been doing tournaments, the average is 15. I mean, Mo Tussin showed up with 10 in Florida. I think Lock It Up showed up with 10 actually.
This year we didn't, but we used to bring bare minimum, but then we realized you can't really do that anymore. Teams are too good and deep. I think we brought 15 this year, 14 or 15 to Florida, and it worked out much better.
Yeah, we did too.
So I don't know. It's an interesting thought. I mean,
I don't know. I think it's about. As kickball evolves, it's about being able to separate competitive kickball and social kickball, and to be able to do both things because they're both really fun, but being able to draw the line, because you get people like former player who are not having a good time because there's people trying to have a competitive kickball experience in a social league, and it's frustrating for everyone. And what there needs to be is there's time for social kickball where you go and you just have fun and screw around and who cares who wins, and then there's time for to play competitive kickball. And I mean, they're two really different experiences, and it's important that everyone participating in each type of kickball, understand like what's going on and, be on the same page.
Agreed. Yeah, I mean, we completely agree at 365. We see it as you have to have a social league separate from your competitive league. And that's not safe. I mean, that's not to say that every city in America needs to have both leagues. Like, you can't do that. Florida, the guys down in Fort Lauderdale with Ultra Kickball, they're doing it where they found a market that really, really required a competitive league. They had 6 teams last year, 5 teams this year, but they're growing. And I think that as they kind of continue to play, teams are going to say, I want to play competitively. I want to do, I want to go play Ultra, or in Waka's case with their elite, project, we'll call it, in the California market, the Florida market, and even the DC market. DC used to have 5 competitive teams. We're down to 4 now. We just had a Sunday scrimmage day that we organized ourselves. We're not paying money for this, but we'll play once a month just to kind of keep, playing at the at our next level. But we'll see. So
well, I think it's adversely like too competitive turns people off.
True.
And speaking from someone that's competitive, like a lot of the time I don't even like playing in New York anymore because it's so bad. Like I used to love coming down and playing when like everyone was kind of trying to find their niche, and now like the niche has been created, and it's kind of boring for me to win 20-2 every week now.
Yeah, but your job now is to find the guys that are showing up every week.
Yeah.
To get them to upgrade and to kind of say, you know what, all right, I'll take my, I'll see if I can compete with the best of the best. Well, I can't remember who said it. I think it was one of the guys from Flying V. Is the circuit is like a drug. Once you go to one of these events and you see that, all right, this isn't just a one-time deal every year. This is if you have the money to travel, which it's tough this time these days, but you can travel to 2 to 3 circuit events, one likely in your region within 100 miles of your location. At least those are the markets we're going after.
Yeah.
And then a flight to Florida in the middle of January. Who isn't going to do that? Or in the middle of February?
Yeah, right.
And then, a drive or a bus ride away for another one. And then Vegas in October. Like, even if you're only doing it 2 to 3 times a year, that fills your niche. So
yeah,
that's interesting.
It's good.
Well, actually, so when we're on the topic of circuit events, just want to give you guys a quick update. The DC circuit event has been posted. Registration is open and live. We'll post the link at the bottom. It's $450 this year. We dropped the price $50. Cash payout still $3,000. That obviously will go up as more teams sign up. It's a level 2 event, which in the circuit rules basically means it's a 2 bounce. It's July 16th. We're playing out in George Mason University, which is actually in Fairfax, so it's about a 25-minute drive from the host hotel. But it's going to be an epic weekend. We've got a meet and greet scheduled on Friday at a big pool hall right across the street from the hotel, so it's really close for everybody.
Good.
The tournament will be played on Saturday on really nice grass fields, and then the semis and the finals will be played on field turf. Not like the short stuff, but legit field turf. There's stands, there's lights. We'll have the live stream going so everybody can watch it who can't make the trip. We'll have a scoreboard, and then we'll probably have a play-by-play announcer as well. So it'll be a big one. So
Sweet.
We're looking forward to that. Also, that's in July, but prior to that, California, we just extended early registration. So we've got a couple more teams who have signed up at the $500 price tag. I think it's going until May 11th. The May California tournament out in Long Beach is May 28th. So we'll post both links below to let everybody know. But, circuit events are coming and going. The only one where registration hasn't been posted is the New York tournament, but that's going to be posted. Our rule or requirement, our motto is to launch everything no more or no less than 90 days till the event, so you have enough time to make travel plans and everything else. We want to make sure that we have the field permits and everything locked down before we even put anything up on the boards that's an official statement from us or from the event manager. So check out thisiskickball.com for more information, and we'll let you know. And Vegas details are coming. A lot of folks have been asking us about the social components of the Circuit Cup. We're going to do events Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday. We're not going to do a Saturday night event because a lot of teams spend times with their teams, so we don't want to get in the way and actually force you to come to an event. Other folks have tried that, and we think it's a failed. It doesn't work. And then Sunday will be the complete tournament where winner takes home $10,000. So
outstanding.
Thisiskickball.com. Check it out.
Love it.
So, Adrock, where are you?
I'm sitting on a toilet right now.
Why?
It was the only quiet place I could find in my wild house right now.
You're a liar. You're taking a dump, aren't you?
I was taking a dump. I've cleaned up, but I didn't want to leave.
Have you been eating enough fiber?
I eat too much fiber sometimes.
Oh, yeah?
Kashi good friends.
Come on, dude. That's the creepiest cereal ever. You see those weird
Dude, did I ever tell you about the
box?
time my buddies and I played suppository roulette?
Oh, no.
Where
You
we
have not
going
told me,
with
but
this?
I want to hear it.
All right, so I was in the Miami airport getting off a cruise with about 5 of my buddies. We had about 3 hours till our flight back to New York. We were bored and hungover and overtired. So we decided to play suppository laxative roulette.
Because why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Because that's what you do.
We went to the local CVS. We bought the suppositories. They're like little torpedoes. We all went in the bathroom stalls. We inserted these torpedoes. We came out and sat down. And, last man to run in the bathroom won.
That's a test of manhood right there.
I like to say that I was the winner for that, and I barely made it to the bathroom.
Yeah. Outstanding.
Just a little game for all you guys out there.
What'd you win? Just pride?
Pride.
That's awesome.
That's about it. That's all I usually ever win.
I will never play that game, but I'm glad you did.
Yeah, it was good. So, I guess we'll see what the board brings this week. I'm excited. It's been lighting up lately.
Yeah,
Leagues
definitely.
are starting.
Leagues are starting. Power rankings are starting to get posted for each particular division. We'll push this podcast out tomorrow, being the 13th of April. Hopefully we'll get that guest. Hopefully. And then Dr. Nick, where are you at?
Come on, buddy. Let's do it.
All right, guys. Well, good to have you on. Thanks again for the time, and then we'll talk to you soon.
All right, guys.
Peace.
Later.
Kickballers and kickballerettes, this is the circuit we're talking about. It's not your daddy's country club. We are the competitive home for kickball in America.
You've heard us talk about it. Kickball 365 produces The Circuit, a collection of top-flight competitive kickball tournaments and events where you can win money and prizes. You ready?
Think your team can compete? Register today at thisiskickball.com.